welcome to my first episode of my blog cast or vlogcast. It's called Ella and the Moon. I am a maker. I have an Etsy shop. I have a blog. I also dabble in quite a few things, but I primarily make macrame and crochet items. I design them, I create them, I ship them. I obsess about them on Pinterest, as I'm sure many of you do. I decided to start a blogcast because I was so inspired by Potter and Bloom. Emma Potter, she's a crochet designer and knit designer, and I just loved her vlogcast so much that I wanted to emulate it, and I just like to share things with people. I love to create. Like I think I said, I'm primarily a macrame and crochet artist, fiber designer, but I dabble in a little bit of knitting. I do a little bit of embroidery. I do just about pretty much anything that I obsess over via Pinterest and other channels. Like if I see something or an artist on Instagram, etc., and I really like what they're doing, I'll try it, but I really do try to stay within my niche. So my son is coming, so I'm going to have to cut this part and go ahead and continue. But I want to show you a few things that I have worked on recently and some of the tutorials that I'm going to be sharing on my blog soon, and hopefully be able to show via video on here. I want to start with my works in progress because I have several of them. Maybe you can relate. I know as makers, we're always like, okay, I'm working on this project, but oh, I want to do this. Here's a shiny new object. So right now, and I've been working on this particular thing forever, but I want to show it to you. And then on my next vlogcast, I'm going to show you what it's going to become, because you'll probably be a little bit surprised as to what it does become. It is a latch hook that I've been working on, and it's in a lot of bright colors. I do a lot of bright colors at times. I really like Katie Jones knitwear. I like her color scheme. But lately I've gone into with COVID coming on, I've kind of in a dark spell, so to speak. Not to get too witchy on you, but I've been doing a lot of just off-white and black. So I think that speaks to our times, unfortunately. The grief that we're going through collectively in all of the world during this pandemic. But I've been working on this. I love the colors. I love pink, and green is my favorite color. But next week I will show you what this latch hook became. I'm also trying to complete basically a shape study, an embroidery shape study. And I've used some different kind of muted, more neutral, pale colors, more nursery ready, for lack of a better term. But I'm working on this, and I ran out of the floss that I use, that you use for embroidery for this particular circle part of the shape study. And so it's been probably 6 months since I've worked on this, but I really, really want to complete it by the next time you see me on this vlogcast. But I don't know, what do you think? I need to pull some of these some stuff under there to make it pop more, and then tighten this. It's another work in progress. Behind me, I found at the thrift store, local Goodwill here, some of these old school picnic wicker plates that you put paper plates on, and I've been wanting to make one of these forever when I saw them on Instagram. I can't remember the maker who I first saw this particular item or design from, but I will put it in the notes. But finally, the other night, I couldn't sleep. I'm going through quite a bit of insomnia due to various things, but decided to make one of these. So I'm going to add some dried flowers here, put it up on the wall. So yeah, I can show you how to make this particular. Actually, I'm going to write up the particular pattern for this. So put it back up here on my take on, put it back up here on my take on the farmhouse ladder. If you can see it, I'm pulling it over. I sourced this wood from the local creek. Take this off, and I decided that I wanted to make a farmhouse ladder out of it. And I like the colors. I like how it's washed out. I like that look. And I like to make things as opposed to buying things anymore. I don't know why. It's just how I am. But over a course of a number of days, I was able to get a bunch of pieces together. Now this part I need to reinforce. I drove screws into it, so I need to fix this. But the next time you see it, it will be perfection. I've been thinking about adding some colors or patterns up here, like a muted gray or white, but for now I'm using it to put things on that I'm going to be talking about during my podcast. The other day, you know, I'm on Etsy all the time. I love Etsy as an Etsy seller and just as a maker. I feel like it's the best way to get started in selling your wares or selling your creations. Other people don't like it, but I really like Etsy. Their fees are kind of ridiculous lately, but that's a discussion for another day, I suppose. But anyhow, I came across a new yarn that I was so pumped. I actually bought it right on the spot. I never do that. I'm not a yarn hoarder on yarn just because it tickles my fancy, but fall is starting to feel in the air, and I wanted to have some placemats on our kitchen table because it's basically all glass. And the kids get all kinds of little prints on it and your little fingerprints, and it gets filthy. I want just somewhere where their plate goes. And this yarn has turned into what I definitely am going to use for that endeavor. The company is called on Etsy All Yarn, and they're have some wonderful muted and autumn colors out. But I went with this kind of spicy cinnamon / pumpkin. I'm not sure what the color is, but I quickly, no pattern or anything, not that it's difficult, whipped up a mini placemat, maybe for a toddler or a small child, but I'm going to order some more, make 4 or 5 of them to go around our glass table. But how lovely is this color? They're very durable too. I don't know what the material is, but it's very chunky, obviously. It looks like maybe it's stuffed with something. But I just love this color. Look at it up against, it's just, I don't know, I love it. I'm probably gonna order some pearl or gray as well. I was going to make a pumpkin out of it, you know, to get started on a new pumpkin design, but it just didn't lend itself to a pumpkin, but I really like it. So that's, just need to snip it and tie in the ends, and it's good to go. Make some bigger ones. Lest you think I'm a complete maniac and not as qualified to have a vlogcast on crochet or macrame, I want to show you the coveted sweater that I made last year. It was my first time working on a Katie Jones pattern. I love her patterns. I'll put the item name of it below, but I wanted a super cute cardigan, and her Frida Kahlo collection. For someone who loves color, it is everything, and it's very much spoke to me. So I made this, and it was really, really, really hard for me to work the pattern. I had a lot of trouble with it because it's in UK style, and I'm in the US, Kentucky, exactly, if you're wondering where I'm at. But it took me a lot of, oh, how does this go? How does this go? And there were pictures, and it was really well written out, but I just couldn't grasp part of the pattern. And I'm sure some of you have run into that where you just didn't understand something, and I don't have anyone else around who really does crochet pattern. Many of my friends do knitting, but I was just working on it one day, and my boyfriend, he's like, if you just turn it that way, then that looks like the L. That's the way it's supposed to go. And he just, I don't know, he has an engineering mind, even though he's not an engineer, and he helped me figure it out, even though he has nothing to do with the fiber art. So, but I wore this cardigan out. I have not lined it. It is not completely finished, but it is mostly finished, as you can tell. And I got, within the span of 2 hours in Pittsburgh, I got like 7 different compliments on it. So, you know, I was feeling myself. I was like, okay, I got this. But I need to fix a spot that has come unraveled because I didn't tether it properly. And I need to line it so I can wear it every day, all day, day, so to speak. So there's that. It's beautiful. I don't know, I look at it hanging up and I'm just so happy. Another thing that I've been working on a tutorial on in the macrame realm, which I guess macrame is my specialty. So I'm working on a cool coaster pattern for the fall or just in general. I call it the wave. It's a technique that I have put a term to. I haven't seen it anywhere else where people call it the wave, but it's basically a half square knot, I believe. I may have to update this, but I believe it's called a half square knot. At any rate, I'll put it down in the notes if you look down below what it actually is called. It's a new coaster pattern where, just put your little coffee mug on there. I'll show a little picture, but it takes probably 15 minutes to make one of these, so you can make 4 of them in an hour and have a whole set for whatever you'd like to have it for. I like the little fringe on the ends, and it's just like got a little wave pattern to it. So just a new thing, new take on coasters. You've probably seen the little round ones that are macrame that are pretty popular on Etsy, but I like to look at something and put my spin on it, the Ellen the Moon spin. So there you go. I also use this particular technique in a lot of my macrame festival tops, custom wear that I've been doing for the past couple of years, but really, with COVID, I didn't really get a whole lot of orders because there are no festivals happening. So just to let you know a little bit about that. In the future, it's going to be on my Pinterest, it's going to be on my Instagram, and the whole tutorial will be on my blog, ellenthemoon.com.